So this is going to be another international question. Technology is interesting, man. I got this question. This question actually came in Vietnamese or whatever the dialect is. And so, I was able to throw it through Google Translate. And yeah, it's crazy. Oh, Corey, you are milling too fine, and it was making more of a gelatinous texture. Rad, man. I'm really glad we. I remember that now. I'm glad we got to the bottom of it. Junction Point homebrewing, love it, man, love it. Next question, and all due respect again when I'm pronouncing some international names, I can struggle with pronunciation. So with all due respect, this question comes from Fuong Tran on YouTube. Hello, Adam. When I saw the video you shared about beer, I was very happy. I myself am new to the industry, like a toddler. I had a lot of difficulty in counting the yeast at the stage of mixing the water and methylene blue to get that ratio appropriate. I watched the remaining steps in the video that you made, and I know that you should mix sample water with a ratio of 250 grams of water in a 5-gram sample. But the above sample takes 1 mil sample and 9 mils of water from the previous sample, and takes 2 mil sample and another 2 mil sample. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, he wants to know what is the methylene blue to water ratio that I'm using. And he also forgot to mention that he is from Vietnam. And so if there's any problem in translation, we can blame Google Translate. But yeah, so actually this will be a great time to look at this. We just mentioned I have that new tutorial video that's posting, and by the time this maybe by the time you're listening to the podcast, or you see this shorter video that'll be clipped for YouTube, you can go back and find it'll be under the tutorial tab. But what you want to do is you want to make a 0.01% solution of methylene blue, and you want to you want that to dye your yeast sample, and you want to let that sit for about 1 to 5 minutes once you get that stain on there. Okay, you need to give it some time to interact, or the yeast cells to interact with that dye. And just for a little background, the reason that we want to stain those cells is that the viable cells will remain clear due to the fact that they have the ability to reduce or break down that dye that coats them, and then they'll show up just as a normal little gray yeast cell rather than blue. It's the dead cells that will get covered, and obviously, since they're dead, not have the ability to break that down and to appear clear in the sample. Non-viable cells stain blue due to the loss of membrane integrity and reduced physiological activity. Budding cells stained blue or light blue should still be counted as viable. So remember that when we are talking about yeast reproduction, like 99% of the time we're talking, and maybe even higher, we're talking about asexual reproduction, where you have a yeast cell and then another little tiny one, and boop, pop, and they have 2 different cells. That was science. Yeah, that's how that works. You can also get into when they'll drop spores and stuff like that, and that's how they're making some interesting hybrids now, but that's a conversation for another day. So when you are going in and doing your counting, if the budding cell is at least half the size of the larger cell, the parent cell, you can count that. All right. And sometimes it will, sometimes that cell will stain, and so it'll look like it's dead. But if it's still attached to a living cell, you can count it as good. Again, I am not the biggest lab whiz, but this is kind of some of the rule of thumb stuff that I do. And Fuang, it's amazing that you're listening. Interested if you're, from what you're asking me, it sounds like you're probably on the pro side. But yeah, I'd be interested. It's awesome. Hopefully that was some help to you. Cheers. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.